Hey look, it's a part 2. So the last video went quite well, thank you, and as I mentioned at the end of the last video, I would cover changes to Terraria that people in my comments section would make. So I went through the comments and picked out a few that I thought I had something to say about. Also, I'd like to thank Joven for collaborating with me and making the mod that you'll be seeing in the video. A link to his Patreon and the game he's making is in the description. Also, be civil. I saw the comments in the last video, don't attack people for their opinions. Onto the video. Vague Destruction says, okay, but we need an option to make all the rare mob drops less grindy. So with this, there's two ways I thought something like this could be implemented. First, Realogic could use the banner crafting from tMod, where a banner and some items can be used to craft a rare drop from the mob. Or, the idea that I had, throw a banner into some shimmer and it could buff the spawn or the drop rate of the mob, much like how throwing a coin into shimmer will buff your luck for a while. Psychic Chicken says, I suggested on the Terraria forums that they should add a setting to choose whether swords aim based on movement or cursor position, but I don't think Red saw it. It's weird because some swords aim with your movement, others with the cursor. Then some, like the Star Fury, aim with movement while on cooldown and aim with the cursor when the projectile goes off cooldown. It's a mess. Still hoping something like that comes to the game eventually. I feel this one. The main reason I prefer to play as a mage in Terraria is so I don't have to deal with this, especially in the early game with the enchanted sword and Star Fury. This could be fixed by either making all the swords aim to the cursor so they're easier to use, or, outlandishly, make them aim like the swords in Overhaul, where they rotate to the direction of your cursor. Just Good Vibes says, honestly, the maces should get expanded upon. Their damage is not enough of a bonus for their range and accuracy trade-off. From memory, the Phaleron is being redone to fit the new mace style, and to fill in the other places of progression so you can do a full playthrough with maces, I would add the Hollow Mace, and maybe some other boss maces to give a bit of variety. And another rework I would do would be turning the Solar Eruption into a mace. So it spins around like a mace does, and its flinging out projectile is what it currently is. And I'd probably buff all of their rotation around the player to be a bit larger so they're a bit more effective before you swing them. Okay, but What If says, and sorry for rewording your comment, getting the item you want from the angler. Upping the spawn rates for stuff like the power cell for the golem. Fixing the invasions. I swear to god, any of them in hard mode is insane to beat. Make it so you don't have to dodge 15 lasers at the same time you're fighting a boss. For getting items you want from the angler, the best thing I could come up with is that every 5 quests you complete you get a choice of 3 items for your reward. So one could be like a self-one piece, the other one a mount, the other one a trophy or something like that. For the power cells, I think a buff to their drop rate to about 25% would help them a lot, as well as the crafting recipe from the 3DS version, because in my opinion, a boss fight shouldn't be hard to start, the challenge should be from the fight itself. And for the invasions, there's not much you can really do other than nerf the damage a bit and remove some of the projectiles. Ali Costa says, what about recipe changes? Are there any items you would add or change to the recipe of? Didn't think about this while I was making the last video, but good point. I guess the main recipes I would change would be the pre-hard mode and early hard mode bar armors to make them cheaper to reduce the grind for all those bars. And one change that I'm in 2 minds of is the mana crystals. As to get to your max you need 45 fallen stars instead of the 27 which it was for the 3-star method. But once you max out your mana, you don't really have that much use for them unless you're using them for potions or the star in a bottle. And for the recipe I'd add, it's the before mentioned power cell, which this question is what spurred on that idea. To round out the video, I think I'll cover changes from the first video that were added to the mod. The heart shrine has been re-added to the ice biome without the heart arrows. Flurry boots now make you run faster on snow and ice. I did see the comment about the person asking about the sailfish boots, but I feel like if they gave a speed buff, it would kinda remove the need for flippers. The Frostburn Mace was added. It's made with a mace and 99 ice torches, as well as the before mentioned new maces. And finally, commenter Coco Nuts LZ had a better idea for the message system. They said, "I think it would be fun for NPCs wanting to move in to send a message to your town via a letter tied to a balloon, just like the slimes." So that's been implemented. And for the bound NPCs who can't send messages that way, there's either a missing person note that you can get from a town NPC, or some other lore-friendly way to get the message. So there are some of the changes that people suggested to me. As a fun side note for the people who got this far in the video, there's going to be an update to the mod at some point, as well as there's some stuff in the mod that I didn't bring up in the video, so have fun looking for all that stuff. The next video should be on settling some unfinished business I have with the Xbox 360 version of Minecraft. Tally-ho.